Nick Carl and Chris Croce, scientists at Pfizer, told Undercover reporters that the body's antibodies are probably better than vaccination when infected with COVID-19 and people are most likely protected for longer by natural immunity. The Undercover reporters are from Project Veritas, a US-based nonprofit reporting group.
Inside portion of the actual virus, so your antibodies are probably better at that point than the vaccination.
Nick Carl is an experienced biochemist at Pfizer with a history of working in the pharmaceutical industry. Nick admits to our Undercover journalist that those who've had COVID have stronger immunity than those who've received the Pfizer COVID vaccine.
When somebody is naturally immune, like they got COVID, they probably have better, like not better, but more antibodies against the virus. Because what the vaccine is like I said, that protein that's just on the outside. So it's just one antibody against one specific part of the virus. When you actually get the virus, you're going to start producing antibodies against like multiple pieces of the virus. And not only just like that outside portion, like the inside portion and the actual virus. So your antibodies are probably better at that point than the vaccination.
So I'm well protected?
Yeah.
Like as much as the vaccine?
Probably more.
How so? Like how much more?
You're protected most likely for longer, since it was a natural response.
A peer-reviewed study accepted by the European Journal of Immunology on September 24 confirmed what the Pfizer scientists said. The study found that antibodies persist for at least 12 months against the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, virus, commonly known as novel coronavirus, for the majority of the COVID-19 survivors. Scientists at the Finnish Institute for Health and Welfare found that 96% of 1,292 people infected with the disease still carry neutralizing antibodies 8 months after infection, while 66% still carry an antibody called nucleoprotein of IgG. Out of the 367 randomly selected from the original cohort of unvaccinated survivors, 89% still carry neutralizing antibodies 1 year after infection of COVID-19, while 36% still carry the IgG antibody. Antibody levels were 2 to 7 times higher for those with severe COVID-19 than those with mild infection for at least 13 months after infection. The study also found that 80% of the survivors infected with the Delta variant strain of COVID-19 still had immune protection 12 months after infection, while the neutralization efficiency declined considerably for the Beta variant but was only slightly reduced against the Alpha variant. The scientists wrote that studies of people who have recovered from infection are crucial in determining the length of time antibodies persist after infection and whether these antibodies protect against reinfection. A study published in Nature Medicine in May found that the levels of neutralizing antibodies in a person are highly predictive of immune protection against infection and severe disease caused by the CCP virus. Prior studies have shown that antibodies persist 6 to 12 months after infection. How does natural immunity compare with Pfizer vaccines? According to the Lancet Medical Journal published on October 4, the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine efficacy declined to 47% after 5 months against COVID-19, from 88% efficacy in the first month after full vaccination. The study was based on the analysis of health records of more than 3.4 million people who were members of the healthcare organization Kaiser Permanente Southern California between December 14, 2020, and August 8. Protection of the vaccine against the Delta variant dropped to 53% after 4 months, from 93% in the first month. The vaccine efficacy was higher for other non-Delta variants, declining to 67% after 4 to 5 months, from 97% after 1 month. Effectiveness against Delta-related hospital admission remained high at 93% for a period of 6 months. Researchers said that the declining vaccine efficacy against infection is probably mainly attributed to waning immunity over time rather than the Delta variant escaping vaccine protection. A separate bioRxiv study, also published on October 4, found that the level of neutralizing antibodies declined by up to 10 times after 7 months following the second Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. The research, which is yet to be peer-reviewed, noted that the drop in antibody levels would compromise the body's ability to defend itself against COVID-19 if an individual becomes infected. Researchers suggested administering a third booster shot to bolster vaccine efficacy. Pfizer, its German partner BioNTech, Moderna and Johnson & Johnson have in total locked in more than $60 billion in sales of their respective COVID-19 vaccines through 2022. The four companies might reap billions from COVID-19 booster shots in the coming years, according to analysts and investors.